Hi, this is Alicia McDaniel from artforthecreativesoul.com, here with an easy, no-sew baby sculpture art lesson. So I will actually be using 3 nylon knee-high stockings, a pair of scissors, craft puff paint, cotton filling, permanent markers, and a low-temp hot glue gun. So this is a fun art lesson to do. We're going to be making these bands by cutting the open end of one of the stockings. There were 4 in the pack. We're only using 3. So I'm going to make about 3 or 4 bands by cutting across the open end. Then I'm going to make the head, the neck, and the body by pushing the cotton inside the toe end of the stocking and using my hands on the inside and outside to form the shape of the head and the body in the forms that I want them to be. Then I'll take one of those bands that I made and wrap it around the center of this form that I made to make the neck. I'm going to put the head and the torso or body part of the sculpture to the side and work on the arms. So I'm going to make one set of arms out of one stocking. I'll do the same technique for the legs. So I'll take a little bit of cotton, pushing it towards the toe end of the stocking, and then I'm going to tie a knot. So that'll be the first hand. I'm going to be stretching and pulling as I make this arm. It'll be about 2 to 3 inches long. Of course, you can make it longer or shorter if you're making this. And then if you don't want to make it a baby, you can make it an animal or a character, whatever you want it to be. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to tie another knot once I get the arm to the length and shape that I want it to be. And I'm going to pull a knot there. So I have 2 knots that I've made so far. I'm going to add a third knot and leave a section that's about 1 inch long from that last knot. So I'll need that to help me to construct the sculpture. So now I'm going to make the last or second arm and hand using the knot method, and then for the little hand I'm going to put a little cotton in there and then close it together using the low temp glue gun. If you don't have a glue gun, you can use fabric glue or glue wall to put the hand together by overlapping the fabric. So I used a regular size knee high for the arms and then a larger knee high for the legs. So once I finish with that, I'm going to go back to the torso and I'm going to use a knot to close that open end for the body. And this is a great lesson to do for recycling leftover materials, because you can use other colors of stockings and socks and any stretchy material that you have to make this. You would just cut strips. So now that I've cut a hole in that little 1 inch section of the arms, I'm just going to wrap them around the neck. I'm going to do the same thing with the legs. I'm going to wrap it around the torso of the baby sculpture. And then if you want to, if you're doing this, you can remove that extra fabric at the bottom, or you can use it like a tail. I'm going to remove that and cut it off. This is a great lesson to use if you're studying fiber artists like Faith Ringgold or Nick Cave or Zenobia Bailey, or if you're looking for a great STEAM art lesson, this is a fun one to do. So I'll be using the fabric puff paint now to add the details like the eyes and the mouth, and then I'll use permanent markers to add the hair, nose, and eyebrows. I used a white knee-high stocking to make a little diaper and a little hat. I used some colorful ribbon as details to make it a finished piece. And I would love you to visit artforthecreativesoul.com to find more great art tips and resources.